next recipe is going to be a Southwestern salad. So we already did the poaching of the shrimp. I will say that some lessons learned on that. I didn't do the dry rub this time before I poached it, and I think it definitely took away a lot of the shrimp flavor. Like it didn't lock in the flavor like it typically did. And I think I also like let it rest in the ice bath a little bit too long too. So lesson learned, when you're poaching shrimp, make sure to do a dry rub first, and then also don't let it sit in the ice bath too long. It should be fine. I mean, we have so many things going on with this that I'm not too upset about it, but of course you always want the best quality shrimp possible, so there you go. But the first step is, after the poaching of the shrimp, is we're going to be cutting up these veggies. We're going to be dicing them up. We got red pepper, green pepper, red onion. We're actually going to blanch these also, and then also shock them. And it's just going to change the flavor to be just slightly cooked, but then it's also going to really bring out these gorgeous bright hues. So it's going to be a very vibrant, beautiful salad. And then there's some other ingredients that we're going to add in at the end, like black beans and such things. I'm just going to go ahead and get chopping. Everything's going to go in this bowl to be blanched. I don't cry with onions, though. I'll sneeze with pepper. I don't cry with onions because I have contacts in. Like, but as soon as like I'm wearing glasses and cooking with onions, because my eyes are really not used to it, like it is so bad. Like I am bawling, and I can't see. Like I like literally am like trying to cook through like waterworks of tears. So you'll notice like I mean that was a whole onion, 3 red peppers, 3 green peppers. Like that's a lot. I'm cooking for 10 to 12 people, so like I tripled the recipe. So it depends on how many you're going to cook for, but like typically the recipe, you know, is like around 4 servings, and it's just 1 green pepper, 1 red pepper, a third of a red onion. So just keep that in mind as I'm making a massive amounts of food. Got all the red peppers. It's already looking gorgeous. And we're going to blanch these. I got an ice bath ready. I got water that's kind of just like simmering on low. I think I'll just like leave it at that. And then I'm just gonna pour this all in there. Give that a stir. It's just gonna cook real fast. Like we're not gonna leave it in long. Like you'll notice that like the color will start to get like pretty vibrant, and we're gonna lock in that color with our ice bath. I feel like this can be tricky for people. I just ate it. I like ate one of them and it was like tender but like still flavorful. So like we're going to call that good. Like it was just in there real quick. And we're gonna put this all in this ice bath. You can see, like, look at that. Like it's even more colorful than and vibrant before. So the heat was cut on this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drain that. We're going to toss it back in the main bowl, and where we'll incorporate the rest of our ingredients. I think this will be great because I think it's going to absorb the vinaigrette better with it blanched like that versus like if it was just all raw. And then I think the flavor is just going to be like a lot nicer and sweeter. I have black beans, and then I cooked corn separately and like shaved it off of the cob. So I'll put those in. And we got our beans. It's a little haphazard cutting shrimp, but kind of just have to go with the flow with it. All right, I'm gonna call that good. Also gonna add some avocado in here as well. So I'm just gonna chop that up just like I did salsa. Lesson learned here, the key takeaway is to make sure when you're like hosting an event like this to buy any of your citrus and avocado a few days before so it's properly ripened. The vinaigrette, we're going to do olive oil, a little bit of sugar, cilantro, and lime. So we got our lime juice. I did 3 limes. And we're going to add a lot of olive oil. We'll share the link to like the recipe graphic. So this is 1/4 cup, so we're actually we'll do just a couple. I'll start with 1 tablespoon and then we'll taste it and see if we need to add more. A generous amount of salt, probably like a tablespoon of salt, and then probably like a half a tablespoon of pepper. Actually, no, I won't. I think it's fine like that. So we got the liquid and now we're going to do like a whole bunch of cilantro. I would say probably like loosely like a cup worth of cilantro. You don't want it like super finely chopped, but you don't want it super coarse. So just kind of somewhere in the middle. Add this into our vinaigrette. Another stir. We will toss this with the rest of the salad. It'll be nice because it'll kind of like hopefully marinate with the shrimp and the other ingredients to really lock in that flavor. Okay, so I'm just gonna pour like about half of it to start. And then you want to toss. You just go to the bottom. You want to be careful not to mush anything up like the avocado. So just kind of go around, go straight to the bottom and bring it up. I was worried that this would be too similar to the salsa and that it's like chopped up with veggies and stuff like that, but it should have a totally different flavor profile than that. Like that one's like tequila and pineapple and fruity. Like this doesn't have any like fruit elements besides the lime juice. So I think they'll be different enough. So after tasting it, I am going to zest it up a little bit more. I think it needs more salt and pepper, but also some spice, like some spiciness, because we don't really have any of that going on here. So I'm just going to add a few shakes of pepper. Remember, this is an enormous salad, so keep that in mind with your measurements. And then I'm doing cayenne, but be very careful with cayenne because a little goes a long way. You can always add more, but you can't add less or take away. Okay, so we got our finished salad. This is just going to be served plain for like the main course alongside the kebabs. One thing to keep in mind is that you can totally make this in advance. I would just keep the vinaigrette and the shrimp and the veggies separate. So you can make all of it the day before, but then just like add the vinaigrette the next day so it doesn't like break down anything for too long. So just add it midday and put it in your fridge and then you're ready to go.